Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the It Girl Mindset. Today, we're diving into the 3 top limiting beliefs that I see in my practice that are holding you back from reaching your big dreams, your big goals, and ultimately your dream life. I think about limiting beliefs as kind of like these invisible walls where you can see your goals in front of you. You can see exactly where you want to go, but for some reason, there's this invisible wall in front of you that's holding you back. It could be when you're in your brain kind of deciding like, do I post, do I not, do I post, do I not? It could be when you're going to take action towards your body where you're like, oh my gosh, should I go? Should I rest? Should I go? Right? It's kind of like this inner dialogue in yourself that's kind of fighting you, where it's like part of you knows you want to do the thing or take action towards your goals. Then there's this other part of you, and that could be shame, fear, anxiety, any limiting beliefs or emotions that are really holding you back from moving forward, okay? If you invest in fancy gym memberships only to fall off after a week or two because work took over, or if you want to start your side hustle, you create it in depth in your notes. Maybe you even have ChatGPT write out every single step for you, but then you overthink and get scared and then just shove the idea away. Or if you want to get rich, but you keep getting these messages either internally or externally that you should just be grateful for what you have and not be greedy. All of these are signals that you're receiving either internally or externally that are just communicating to your brain that you're not meant to have these big goals, right? You're not meant to be the hottest, richest, most successful version of you, right? And that is just not true. However you were raised, whatever subconscious beliefs and limiting beliefs that you have are not facts. You are allowed to change and know that you deserve anything and everything that you want in this lifetime, okay? So we're going to get into the top 3 limiting beliefs that I see. So let's get into it. Welcome to the It Girl Mindset, where I help you step into the next level version of yourself by mastering your mindset, manifesting your deepest desires, and connecting deeply with your body. It's about becoming the most authentic, radiant, unapologetic, and unbothered version of yourself. Together, we're going to chat about how to unlock your true potential and create a life that feels as good as it looks. If you're ready to become the healthiest, hottest, and most abundant version of yourself, you're in the perfect place. Let's get into it. Okay, number 1 is that I'm not worthy of my dreams and goals. This kind of belief typically stems from shame or fear, shame that you're not where you should be, or fear that if you do go for it, it's not going to come out to what you really think it's going to be. And honestly, this is something that has come up so many times, not only in my practice with my clients, but also myself, right? It's so hard to stay in your own lane, right? And not think about what other people are doing. And just in being very honest and vulnerable, right? I'm 31 and so many people around me, especially with social media, it's hard not to see everyone's getting engaged and married and having babies. And I'm over here just really obviously I want that, but I'm also building the business of my dreams right now. It can be hard to not look left or right and see what other people are doing. But when you actually start to recode these beliefs and you let go of these emotions, right? Because your emotions dictate how you show up, right? Your emotions dictate your energy, which also dictates what you attract into your life. So they're very real. And when you recode these, you're able to let go of the shame and the fear of not being enough and being exactly who you are. So you can let go of this worthiness wound, right? You're worthy to have whatever you want. You're worthy to have your dreams, your goals, and everything that you want and more. When you recode this belief of not feeling worthy, you go after your dreams from a place of love and not fear. Even in terms of your body, if you have a body goal, but you're like, oh my God, all these people are getting pregnant and having babies. What's the point? I need to rush. Or what if I try really hard and then it doesn't happen, right? All of these beliefs are very real to you. But when you go back and you recode them, you show up to your healthy habits and your progress and looking at yourself from a place of love instead of the scarcity fear mindset. When you get into this scarcity fear mindset, you're going to attract more scarcity and fear, right? When you show up from a place of love, you start attracting more love and gratitude. And that's when things are actually going to start moving, right? When you truly love yourself no matter what, and you know that you're worthy exactly as you are, while also striving for more, it just allows you to show up differently, right? You're not so attached to the outcome that you're actually pushing away your manifestations and pushing away what you believe is possible for you. When you show up from love and being so grateful for yourself, and even using the body as an example, you show up differently. That invisible wall that we talked about lowers, and you're able to just show up with ease, right? We're still putting in the action and following the aligned action that we know that we're meant to, but we're showing up from a completely different energy when you know you're worthy of exactly who you are, and you also believe that you can have whatever you want. Do you see the difference there? Another thing of the I'm not worthy of my goals and dreams that I wanted to mention is when you go after things and you feel like you have this fear that it's not going to come true, you're probably going to subconsciously half-ass it, right? If you feel that it's not going to come true, your subconscious mind thinks it's safer to not go all in and kind of not give it your all, because that would lessen the shame if it never came true. If you're acting from this energy of I'm afraid that it's not going to come true, all you're doing is subconsciously self-sabotaging yourself, because you're not actually giving it your all. You're not actually going all in. And that's another piece that I see all of the time. And I've struggled with this in my own life in many different ways, where it's like, it seems so much safer to just kind of try it, because the disappointment, if you do go all in, is so much greater. If you're like, wow, I really put my all into this, right? That's so much harder. That's so much more challenging to work through. But what typically happens is if you actually do go all in and you actually do give it your all, and you know that it's coming no matter what, you're showing up with a different energy. You're showing up differently with different types of action, and you're in turn attracting what you actually want. Do you see how these limiting beliefs are self-fulfilling prophecies? I always say this, but whatever you believe, you are right. And how to start working on your worthiness, of course, you want to go back and recode that belief subconsciously, but just start speaking kindly to yourself, right? I think that's, something that isn't talked about enough is you can say I'm worthy all day, but if you're telling yourself I'm worthy, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, but then the next second you're talking about how you hate your body, or you feel poor, or you're just talking negatively to yourself, those two things are fighting each other, right? So how can you show some love for yourself? And even with the body piece, if you don't want to say I love my body, you don't have to say that straight up. Kind of like we talked about the chaining affirmations in last week's episode. How can you shift into gratitude? Like, okay, I am grateful that I have energy right now. I'm grateful that my body allows me to go to the gym. I'm grateful that my body breathes for me, right? You can shift into gratitude, and that will start to shift your energetic state and your energy. Number 2 is I'm not worthy of this specific amount of money and freedom that you want to make. And this belief shows up a lot from comparison. For example, if you see some girl on Instagram working from her laptop and she's making $50,000 months, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, they're allowed to make that much money, but I'm not. They're allowed to hit 10,000 followers, but I'm not. What I believe to be true is if there's something that you truly want, it wouldn't be in your mind if you weren't capable of achieving that. That's what I believe to be true. If you see a girl working from her laptop and she's making 30K months, and you're like, that could never be me. If there's a part of you that truly wants that at an authentic level, that means you have the ability to have that. You just got to do the deep work to recode your limiting beliefs so you start to believe that you can have that and go after it, right? Even for me, when I first started my health and fitness journey and I lost 30 pounds, I was not like, oh, I'm going to make a business off of this. I'm going to hit 20K months off of this. No, literally, that did not cross my mind for a second. But I ended up investing in this mentorship, and they completely shifted my beliefs around what was actually possible, right? At the time that I invested, I was in a corporate job that I hated. I thought that I was just going to climb up the corporate ladder, and then I invested in this mentor, and they were making 100, 200K months normalized. And I was like, oh, okay. if they can do it, I can do it too. Do you see that mindset shift? Instead of, oh, they can do it, but I can't, rather than, oh, if they can do it, I can do it too. It completely changed how I thought about money. It completely changed how I thought I could live my life, honestly, because money is freedom. Let's be honest, right? People don't necessarily want the money. They want the freedom that comes from having the money. And so when you recode these beliefs to understand that you can have whatever you want, the money, the freedom, and you stop looking at these other people and comparing yourself in a negative way and in a jealous way, and you shift that to be, oh, if they have it, that means I can have it too. You're going to radically shift what you believe is actually possible for you. Okay, I didn't think I was going to be an entrepreneur. I worked in HR, you guys. I worked right out of college. I got a job working in HR. That wasn't even my major. Funny enough, my major was entrepreneurship, which I don't know. I think I just did that because my sister did it. And I was like, ooh, that sounds cool. I can learn like a bunch of different parts of the business. And I also did finance, which honestly slay, because I feel like everyone should have to have a finance major, honestly. But wait, that's actually really funny, actually. Now that I'm helping women make more money, I kind of forgot I was a finance major. This makes sense. See, follow your intuition, people. Podcasting is always like, I speak about things that are coming to my brain, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, like speaking it out loud connects the dots in my brain. That is so wild. But yeah, when I was working in HR, I thought I was just going to climb the corporate ladder. I was just going to be in a job that I hated. Like, that was what was normalized to me. That was a true belief that I had back then. I was like, yeah, you got to work, you got to climb the corporate ladder. You just got to be okay with an average salary and live your life and have fun on the weekends. No. Okay. And what I believe now is I can make unlimited amounts of money. I can have a job that I absolutely am obsessed with and make unlimited amounts of money. Okay. That wasn't always the case, but that's what I recoded my beliefs to believe. And now my reality is that you can have whatever you want. It just really is about if you're willing to do the internal work. And that's exactly why I created the code, my one-to-one mentorship, so we can together pinpoint your exact limiting beliefs. I consider myself an intuitive guide. I can see your blind spots intuitively. It's just kind of one of my superpowers where I can see where you are now, where you need to go in order to reach the goals that you want. Whether that is more money, your body, whatever it may be, I can see what other people can't, okay? So if you want to apply, the link is down below. Okay, number 3, I'm stuck in my circumstances and everything is happening to me. You feel that you are powerless to your life. You feel that things are just happening to you and that you have zero control. And I'm not going to lie, even during my Saturn return, I'm not going to lie, I felt like this for a piece of it. I was like, holy shit, everything is happening to me. Everything is falling apart. I have no control over anything. Things are happening to me. And it's really fucking hard to live in that space. When you don't take personal accountability, you don't have trust in yourself and the universe. This belief is very real, and it's honestly one of the hardest ones to have. When you recode this, you put yourself in the driver's seat of your life. You know that you can change your beliefs, your actions, and in turn, what happens to you. If you're in this place, you might lack personal accountability, and it is not your fault, and I'm not saying that to be harsh, but that's what you learned based on your circumstances, how you were raised, what you were taught from the world. It's not your fault, but it's your responsibility to recode your beliefs, to change your inner world so you can change your external reality, okay? What is going on inside you is a reflection of your reality and what's going on in the real world. When you step into that place of personal accountability, you brainwash yourself to know that you can have, do, and be anything that you want. Life becomes limitless, truly. Life becomes so much more enjoyable. Life becomes so much more peaceful. Life becomes almost like this game that you're like, okay, show me how good it gets to be, right? That's why learning about the subconscious mind drastically changed my life. I was in the driver's seat now. I was in control of what happened. I didn't have to just hope things changed and hope that, places in my life that I felt lack, like my body and money and success. I didn't just have to hope that one day it was going to change. I was in the driver's seat. And you are in the driver's seat too. This is me brainwashing you to believe that you are in the driver's seat and you are in control of your life. No matter how in deep dark of a hole that you are right now, you are in control and you can get yourself out. You just have to take that personal accountability and start to brainwash yourself to know that you are in the driver's seat and you can have whatever you want. Whatever you want. Whatever you want. We hear these crazy stories of people, being like drug addicts and like all this crazy stuff, being homeless, and then all of a sudden they completely changed their life and became multimillionaires. Stories like that can happen to anyone. They change their belief. They change their identity. They change who they believed that they were fundamentally at their core, and decided that they weren't going to let the world happen to them anymore and that they were going to take control of their life, okay? And that can happen to anyone. That can happen to anyone, including you. When you recode this belief about being stuck in your circumstances and everything is happening to you, like I said, you're going to feel so much peace in your life. You're going to feel so much trust in the universe, okay? You are going to completely trust yourself to go after what you want. There truly is nothing more powerful than trusting yourself and trusting the universe. When you recode your subconscious mind, your internal beliefs, you shift at an energetic level. My subconscious reprogramming method not only shifts your mind and recodes the memory, but it also shifts your body. Because energy is how you attract things, right? We're all operating at different energetic frequencies. Whatever frequency you are on is attracting things into your life. When you shift at a subconscious level and a body level, watch how easy it is to go after your wealthiest, hottest self unapologetically. Just watch. You can start to show up for yourself every single day and trust yourself. New habits that you've wanted to implement for months or even years become easy to you. Not because they're easy, but because they're a part of who you believe that you are. Anytime I've shifted anything in my life drastically, it was not from me being logical. It was from me trusting myself, trusting the universe, knowing that I'm worthy of whatever I want, truly knowing that I can have whatever I want at a deep, authentic level, okay? And that's why I'm so passionate about this. I really want you to understand and know that you can have whatever you want. Whatever you want. So, if any of these resonated and you are like, I feel like I'm not worthy of having my dreams and goals. I don't feel that I'm worthy to make 30K, 40K, 50K months and have the freedom that I want. Or you feel like you're stuck in your circumstances. I hope this episode put you in the driver's seat of your life to know if you want to change your life, you have to change your subconscious beliefs and your energy. And a lot of it comes down to believing that you're worthy, right? Believing that you're worthy of having anything that you want. And that takes recoding. It takes practicing self-love. It takes showing up for yourself and putting yourself out of your comfort zone, following those intuitive pings. You can have whatever you want, okay? I'd love to hear in the comments which one you're focusing on shifting first. I know sometimes this deep work can be hard to look at, but I promise you on the other side of healing is absolute magic. I am living proof. My clients are living proof. Doing the inner work will change your life, okay? If you don't believe that you're worthy of having whatever you want, I believe in you. I believe in you. Okay, my love? Okay, my loves, thank you so much for being here. I love being on your screen or in your ear. Don't forget to subscribe and rate and review the show if you have not already. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next episode.